out here doing.
Exactly. That's what I said.
And I knew I was right. Every time I feel that intuition of I'm right.
How do he not see that?
That's what I'm saying. What have I done to you for you to do
Because
me
it
like
sure
this?
isn't because you're not attractive.
Here is a rewritten, simplified, and emotionally human-toned version of your story, expanded to approximately 1,800 words. A broken love, Kirk and Rasheeda's story. Move that damn bike out the way. You need to move it, the security guard barked outside the courthouse, but Kirk Frost barely heard him. He was sitting quietly in the corner of the courtroom, lost in his thoughts. Everything that had happened that day felt like a huge wave, crashing down on him. He leaned back in his chair, his face a mix of shock, sadness, and defeat. I thought I was ready for anything today, Kirk said softly, his voice trembling. But hearing that ruling, it felt like I got punched in the stomach. As he sat there, his mind wandered back to Rasheeda. Memories of their time together came rushing in. Times when things were simpler, when they were a team. His voice softened as he spoke again. We've been through so much. Somehow we always found a way to survive the hard stuff. But this feels different. It feels like we went from being partners to being strangers overnight. Kirk's eyes began to shine with tears that hadn't yet fallen. He looked down, overwhelmed by the flood of emotion. I keep thinking about how it was when we first met. Everything was exciting. We had dreams, big plans, and love. Real love. Now all of that feels buried under court documents and arguments. He paused, shaking his head slowly like he was trying to push the sadness away. I never thought we'd end up here, he whispered. I always believed we could figure things out, even when we didn't see eye to eye. But once kids are involved, things change. The emotions get bigger, the fights get louder. Suddenly, it's not just about us anymore. Taking a deep breath, Kirk tried to pull himself together. This child support stuff, it's not just about money, he said, his voice now more firm. It's about making sure my kids are okay. I want to be there for them. I want to love them, support them, no matter what's going on between me and their mom. He looked around the room. The weight of everything hit him all over again. This isn't just about me and Rasheeda anymore, he said, his voice gaining strength. It's about our kids, their future. I don't want them to grow up watching us fight in court. They deserve better than this. Talking about fatherhood seemed to give him some clarity. I've always wanted to be more than just the guy who pays the bills, he said. I want to help with their homework. I want to be there at their school plays, their games, all of it. I want them to know their dad loves them and is fighting for them. But the emotional weight of the moment was still heavy. It's crazy how fast things fall apart, Kirk added, his voice cracking. 1 minute, you're sitting at dinner with your family. The next, you're sitting in court, with lawyers digging into your life like it's just another case. He knew the public was watching too. People always think they know everything, he said, frustrated. They see the headlines, the gossip, but they don't see the real stuff. The crying at night, the phone calls that go nowhere, the feeling like you're failing everyone. Kirk leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. He was tired, emotionally, mentally, even physically. This court ruling, it's going to change everything, he said. My life, my career, my finances, all of it. I've worked hard to build what I have. And now I've got to figure out how to do it all again while still being there for my kids. Still, even through the pain, there was a glimmer of hope. I believe Rasheeda and I can still be good co-parents, he said, a small fire returning to his eyes. We both love our kids. That has to be the focus. We have to talk. We have to work together, even if it's hard. He wiped away a tear, his voice full of resolve now. This isn't the end. It's a new chapter. I'm going to be the best father I can be, no matter what. And I really hope Rasheeda and I can get on the same page. For the kids, that's what matters most. Their happiness, their future. Meanwhile, across town in a sleek high-rise loft, Rasheeda Frost paced back and forth. Her heart was pounding, and her thoughts were racing. She had just confirmed something that broke her. Kirk had cheated on her. The truth hit like a slap to the face. She had trusted him, believed in him. But now, that trust was shattered. If he wants to play dirty, she said to herself, I'll show him I'm not the one to mess with. She felt a new kind of strength building in her. A press conference, she decided, was the way to reclaim her voice. She wasn't going to be painted as the helpless wife in the tabloids. She was going to take control. When she walked into the packed press room, everyone noticed. She was dressed with style and confidence, head held high, back straight, eyes fierce. There was elegance in every step, but there was also fire. Thank you all for coming, Rasheeda began, her voice calm and clear. She stood at the podium, breathing in deeply before letting the truth spill out. My relationship with Kirk Frost has gone through a lot recently, she said, pausing for effect. And yes, the rumors are true. He has been unfaithful. Gasps echoed through the room. Cameras flashed. Reporters leaned forward. But Rasheeda wasn't done. But here's the part that matters to me, she continued, her tone shifting. I'm not just walking away. I'm walking forward, with someone new. Someone who respects me, supports me, and sees my worth. At that moment, a tall, handsome man stepped into view. His name was Adrian. Calm, steady, and confident, he walked up and stood beside her. Reporters jumped into action. Who is he? How did you meet? This is Adrian, Rasheeda said, smiling. We met through friends. He's been my rock while I've been going through all of this. Adrian nodded and shook a few hands. I'm just here to support Rasheeda, he said calmly. She's been through a lot, and I'm honored to walk with her through this next phase of her life. As they left the press room, Rasheeda felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. She had survived the betrayal. Now, she was stepping into a future she chose, not one forced on her. But the hurt ran deeper than most people knew. Rasheeda stood alone in her living room later that night, the silence almost deafening. Rumors had been flying, and one in particular shook her to her core.